All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, swerving out of my lane here on Easter Sunday. Happy Easter to all of you. I've got a sad story ahead. Talking about this in real time for real people, right? So, one of my patrons sent me this, and Scott. So, I guess thank you, Scott. I wasn't planning on doing a video today, but I'm reading this and I'm just like, nah. So it's not music related. So again, staying off of my lane here. I'm not on the lane that I'm supposed to be in. I hear this all the time. Student athlete at a high school in Clarksville dies on court. This happened Friday night, and it was announced yesterday. This is courtesy of Fox 17 in Nashville, Tennessee. And this is just a ridiculously sad story. All right. Rossview High School senior Cameron Ward, 17, died on Friday during a pickup basketball game with friends in pickup game with friends and teammates, according to the school. I did that all the time. Pickup games, which were much more low key affairs than an actual basketball game. And here's the punchline of the article, and here's what kind of triggered me. And I know some people are like, dude, they say this stuff all the time. They've been saying it for 20 years, 30 years. I don't know about that. He died from an apparent medical emergency. And let me do something here. Let me give you an analogy, right? So this guy dies from a medical emergency. If you call 911, what's the first thing they're going to ask you? What's your emergency? That's what they're going to ask you. What's your emergency? Well, it's a medical emergency. Okay, specifically what? Well, I think my husband is having a heart attack, shortness of breath, choking, I don't know, coughing, incessant coughing, person passed out. I mean, whatever. They're going to ask, what is your emergency? I can't get him to breathe. All right. They're going to want to know specifics. And so when somebody says they died from a medical emergency, that's kind of like the act of what happened, right? They had a medical emergency, but specifically what caused, and again, I've been saying this for probably a couple of years now. So what caused this medical emergency? He's 17. And I'm not seeing these quite as frequently as I did, say, a month or two ago. But again, I'm swerving out of my lane. I'm not supposed to be talking about this stuff. I'm supposed to talk about, the next concert for whoever and how amazing it is. And if Don Henley is lip syncing or not, which is kind of interesting, but I don't know. I guess for some people, maybe because they want to escape this stuff, they're like, okay, give me the bread and circus because I don't want to know what's going on here. By the way, as a side note, I have access, possibly, to speak with Dr. Peter McCullough at some point, and I'll probably do that on my other channel, since that would be too far out of my lane. It's still way out of my lane. So, I do have more subscribers over here. So, but I will redirect people because the other channel needs help. This channel isn't doing so well. The other channel is on life support. So, the principal of the high school here and a doctor, Dr. Megan Sanders, released a joint statement on Cam Ward's death. This is what they say here. It is with the heaviest of heart that I share with you the news that senior Cam Ward passed away Friday night. Cam was playing basketball with friends and teammates, and a medical emergency ended his life so unexpectedly. So they just can't tell you what caused the medical emergency. Cam was full of light and joy and was such a positive presence in our classrooms, on the court, and in our school community. I will miss his weekly visits when he would sneak up to the main office to get his favorite candy bar, Twix, from Mrs. Fields as she gave him a pregame pep talk and then brought him back to me for some additional encouragement to play his best and dunk more. We will miss seeing him in the hallways with his teammates talking basketball and rehashing who did what on the floor. He was and is, he was an absolutely amazing young man who has a special place in so many hearts. He will be truly missed, but will always be remembered, especially in the echoes of basketball games in our gymnasium and in the laughter of our hallways. We want to wrap our arms around his mother, Jessica Ward, his teammates, Coach Jackson, and our assistant basketball coaches. So the basketball team held a candlelight vigil last night for Ward, 8 p.m. last night. And so that's the story. There's nothing more to it. They talk a lot about how they're going to miss him and his presence on the court and in the hallways of the school. Does this sound like we're a normal society right now? Like, could this be a kind of a cover up here? Do we not want to admit there are more and more voices, by the way, out there, including Dr. McCullough, who is saying, okay, enough. Stop pretending that nothing's going on. Stop pretending that nothing happened. And you have to denounce these safe and effective products. You cannot just, and I'm saying that tongue in cheek because I'm so used to censorship and, of course, the algorithm, which isn't going to be my friend during this video. So if you're watching this video, you've somehow gotten a notification. But truly, this is the issue of our time. Anyone who runs around, by the way, and says it was someone else's fault, and the people who did this, who started this back in 2020, had no other choice. And they were recommending this to people who didn't need it. They said younger people didn't need this over and over again, but they panicked and scared everybody. And again, I have no proof that he did anything here. But there's a likelihood that he did. He did. Everybody was saying in order to do X, Y, and Z, you had to go ahead and do this. But if you are younger, and they're finding too that there's some kind of a thing that happens with athletes, younger athletes who've done this. It seems like it does something, although they're not telling you here what the specifics are. So I'm not going to go into detail. At some point, I need to speak to an actual expert and let him go on the record and say stuff. And I'm hoping at some point to talk to Dr. Peter McCullough, who I think is a hero. So you want to look out for that. That would be my equivalent of getting Eric Clapton on this channel. If I can talk to Dr. Peter McCullough, that would be, the Dr. Eric Clapton kind of thing. Because guess what, folks? We need to figure this out. And again, I use the car seat analogy. One car seat fails. One car seat causes a problem. They recall all of the car seats. Precious little kids, little babies, right? We're not going to sell a car seat that's defective and that might fail in a car accident. But yet, we're not only going to sell a product like this, we're going to push this product. And you know how long they test car seats before they get to market? A long time. They do all kinds of safety testing. And this, which is going to be something that floats around inside of you and is supposed to do something, it's supposed to benefit you. I mean, this thing better be tested backwards, sideways. And if it's not something that should be in there in the first place, then we need to get to the bottom of that. But we have 17-year-olds leaving planet Earth right before Easter due to a medical emergency. Again, call 911. What's your emergency? They're going to want you to be specific. And I don't see who this protects or benefits when you're not just telling people what it is. So that's my video on the topic. On Easter Sunday, I mean, all our thoughts and prayers should be with the mother here. They mentioned the mother. They did not mention a dad. I don't know if it's a single mom or not. It says we want to wrap our arms around his mother, Jessica Ward, his teammates, Coach Jackson, and our assistant basketball coaches. How does that school even finish out the school year this year? That's just mind-blowing. And aren't the kids asking questions like what happened to Cam? I'm sure they know. I'm sure they know more. I don't know. Maybe they don't know everything, but my guess is they know more than what this Channel 17 is putting out. So, and anyway, folks, thoughts and prayers for everyone involved. I know some people think when you say thoughts and prayers, especially the prayers, it's hollow, but it's never hollow. Sometimes prayers don't change things for you, but they might change you for things in the future. So always pray without ceasing, pray fervently, because this world, it just is a sad place. But we can do better. We don't have to go down this road. We can do a U-turn and go a different direction. And I think we better get going on this ASAP. All right. See you soon.